So where we left off last week, we were just sanding, prepping for primer. I know I gotta shoot some primer at some point. And I guess, calling it good enough is good enough. I don't know that there's anything really else other than just getting after it. I gotta do a couple taping. I had to punch some holes in the covering here to lock some magnets in back behind it to keep all the tape closed up, because of course, just like I thought, as soon as I start sanding, nothing is going to stick to it. So, and then that's the case, nothing's sticking to it, because the moment any of that fine dust touches anything, the tape just loses all of its memory that it was supposed to be sticky. This part isn't very entertaining. It's not for me too, because it's hard to show, that you made some progress on something, and then you come back in, it's like, okay, well, I'm right back to where I started. Not necessarily right where I started. I know that I gotten a lot of work done. Now, I probably could have just focused on the cab and I'd already be there. I don't know. I don't know what those look like. I did these inside too and got those skimmed up, and I don't know how they feel necessarily, but I got them dressed up. And the lower cab corners, not that there's nothing wrong with the lower cab corners. There was no rust or anything else. I cleaned them up, and there's a seam that goes right there, and it seems like that. I think I already said that. I was just trying to try my hand at hiding that stuff. Just like right here. I mean, it doesn't have to be, but I wanted to see. So I'm finding out. So I'll kick the compressors on, do a little housekeeping, and get started. Still getting ready for primer. Okay, well, let me stop picking it apart and I'll have time. I'll have time to do it when it's on the truck, as far as, blocking it. What they say to do is block it, sand it, block it, guide coat, that stuff that tells you the low spots and the high spots. The real thing that has to be done is get it close, horseshoes and hand grenades, so you can put it on the truck and then go from there. Here's the deal with the engine. So if I buy an engine, I'm going to buy an engine that's comes with some sort of warranty. I'm not going to junkyard this. So the thought process here is, I can't have an engine sitting here while I'm in the midst of just, breaking bolts and just starting on this thing, because the clock's ticking on it. So if I get an engine and it's just sitting here in this state, and I'm taking it through the process, that warranty is clicking away on that motor, instead of being able to get it in there when I'm close to where it can go out the door, and I can be putting miles on it, breaking it in, everything. Because you're gonna have to have it in this kind of scenario for the ease to swing the engine and the transmission in. Also, I do have a transmission. So there's the transmission. That is a Turbo 400. Now, they didn't paint it. It came shelled out, and just how a transmission looks. I cleaned it up and did the old scratch and shoot on it. It almost looked like it was powder coated. I mean, and it was thick and shiny, and I'm not going to rub on it right now because it has a pile of dust on it. It's just going to scratch the snot out of it. But it's a transmission. It's going under the truck. Nobody's going to see it. I'm going to know it's there, and that's it. So just like the rear end's orange. We'll say Chevy orange, just for nobody kicking me in the shin over the shade of orange that it is, like the shaded blue that the truck is going to be. The calipers, the transmission, the rear end, I got the motor perches, and I painted those orange just because I was running orange at the same time, and I had them cleaned up. The other parts I have sitting right here. So I have the front radiator support, the hood latch and all the assembly for the front, the tank straps and brackets. So they're all painted and they just sit over here until I'm ready to put them on. So back to the engine. So timing's everything to be able to get it in there, fly it in where you're not having to take it up. Most people don't care. I just have all of that stuff that I have painted that's in good order. I do have an engine hoist. It wouldn't be, I guess, too much to fly it in over that, have everything just done, just not to mention tires, wheels, rims. No, rims, wheels and tires. Wheels. I know that this is just me procrastinating now. Where we're going and how we're getting there. I'm gonna touch up these spots and get them sanded, get it flipped over, hook up that wire wheel to small grinder, and kind of touch off on everything else, so the springs and everything. So when I shoot this flat black, I'll shoot the springs and the hood hinges and take off that way. All right. The hood. I still got to pull out the hood. For the love of Sam Houston, why? It's sitting way back there. I got to pull it out and get it ready to shoot too. Unless you got any better suggestions. If you got some better suggestions. I know I got to shoot some primer at some point. And I guess, calling it good enough is good enough.
Is it a matter
create more work for myself. Well, you should have done that. You didn't do this. I don't know. I don't. Procrastinating. 10 minutes and 33 seconds. I'm right back to where I started. Not down the road. And then that's the case, nothing's sticking to it, because then you're gonna scratch it. And stuff. Maybe I'm shooting myself in the foot on that too. I don't. Should have seen that goes right there, and it seems like that I'm finding out. The 30 minutes I went last time walking around here talking to this thing. The trash talking that Sleeveless does. The process. Still getting ready for primer. There's a spot right there. I shouldn't have looked. Horseshoes and hand grenades. Drags out because what do I know about transmissions? Old Baylesses, and then I gotta get root beer. I'm forklift certified. But nobody kicking me in the shin over. There she goes. What are you doing? Come here. What are you doing? What are you doing? No, I don't want to come over there. Why? Are you a good girl? You are a good girl. Who's that good girl? What are you doing, Sister Sue? What are you doing, Bay Sue? Good morning. Good morning. What is it? What is it? He's out there goofing around, procrastinating. You know snitches get stitches, right? She's going to tell on me. Most people don't care. I have everything just done, just when I get there, we'll figure it out. Right now, I'm gonna go with all of its memory that it was supposed to be sticky. We can agree to disagree on that. Wheels and tires, wheels on the tires, and 24 minutes. And they got Bonto strung here to Christmas, and none of that's gonna look good either. 24 minutes. I'm not gonna even touch that with a 10-foot pole. So for the love of Sam Houston, why today? I'm not. Hey, unless you got any better suggestions. If you can, there's a spot right there. I shouldn't have looked.